Hey folks, Les here from 6S1, taking a moment to introduce you to our easy hair color controls that you'll find in our new hair products for V4 and other poser figures. What we've done is create a fast, interactive way for you to dial in a wide variety of subtle variations for your character's hair in a unique, intuitive way that bypasses complex material room operations while still giving you an amazing amount of control. So now that we've gotten through our little introduction, let's take a look at the actual dials and get a little bit of an explanation, show you some of the nuts and bolts of how this works and why it is, I think, very useful for poser artists. So here we have our LongSlowWave hair product. It is a conforming figure, of course, with the poser's transparency sorting in the viewport. You can still see the scalp through it, but don't let that confuse you. So here, with this figure, you'll find a group of dials labeled color controls. Now, these color controls, these are our easy hair color control system. And with this, you'll find color select, brightness, highlight level, and ambient light level. So let's take a quick look at what these do. If I drag the color select, you'll see that that's going to cycle through a variety of hair colors. And instead of moving from color to color, limiting you to picking a specific swatch based on a pre-made material setup, this allows you to subtly dial in whatever shade you're looking for. Now, just below the color select, we have our brightness dial. And with that, it does exactly what it says. We can take the color and darken it or push it to a brighter, more kind of punk rock look. Below that, you'll see highlight level. And as we drag that dial, if you look, it's a little harder to see in the viewport, but the results and renders are very striking. Here you'll see the specularity controlled, and you'll be able to control, as the dial says, the highlight level and the amount of highlight that runs across the hair. Below that, we have ambient light level, and this one's kind of neat. What this does, it controls the ambience in the hair shader. And the real usefulness of that, I find, is that especially if you're doing darker scenes, whether it's horror or dark fantasy or sci-fi, sometimes you have these dark scenes with moody lights, and the hair kind of muddies up, and you might want to increase some light for the hair. Well, rather than changing your whole light setup, one solution that I'm really fond of is to give my hair a little bit of ambience. So this dial allows us to do that across all of the different materials in this hair figure all at once, and allows us to do it interactively. So it's just so much more intuitive than the normal way that we would do that inside the material room. So speaking of the material room, we're going to step inside there for a moment so we can give you an idea of the complexity level of what all these dials are driving, so you really understand exactly what it is you're getting with this and why it's just so cool. Let's jump into the material room, and here you can see the basic shader system that we have in place for the hair. Now, while this isn't a super complex shader system, the thing is, we have multiple different material zones across this hair figure. There's 6 different material zones, really, that come into play when you're rendering this hair. So if you wanted to change the color, its brightness, its specularity, and its ambience, all at the same time, get exactly the same values across all the different shaders in this, you would have to, at best, do all of the work in one, copy all of that, and then paste it into all of the others, and that gets tedious. If you went in and tried to do it piece by piece across each one, well, then you're doing, you have all these edits that are going on across all those different materials. So what we've done is hooked this up for you so that instead of having to go through all that tedium, you don't even have to go into the material room. All you have to do is open up our little group here, color controls, pick the color you want, dial in your brightness level, dial in your highlights, decide whether you want some ambience added to that. Dial in the level of ambient light that you'll find in your hair, and you're good to go. Now that you've gotten a quick look at our easy hair color controls, we'll finish things out with a peek at some of the other features of the hair kit shown here, our LongSlowWaves for V4. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll pick up one of our new hair kits that uses our easy hair color controls. Keep an eye out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/6s1media, our official site, 6s1.com, or on Facebook and Twitter under 6s1media for news and videos about features of this and other products to come.